The Song of Achilles, written by Madeline Miller, is a beautifully crafted retelling of Homer's Iliad, focusing on the legendary tale of the doomed lovers, Achilles and Patroclus. The story is narrated by Patroclus, who recounts his life with Achilles, from their childhood in ancient Greece to their heroic deeds during the Trojan War, and ultimately to their tragic end. The novel begins with an introduction to the young Achilles, a demigod who is destined to die young but also possessing incredible strength and courage. His mother, Thetis, tries to protect him by disguising him as a girl and sending him to live with King Peleus on the island of Phthia. There, he befriends Patroclus, a young prince exiled from his homeland. The two boys become inseparable, sharing everything from food to clothing to a bed. As they grow older, it becomes clear that Achilles is destined for greatness. He is trained by the centaur Chiron, who teaches him not only how to fight, but also how to lead men. Meanwhile, Patroclus grows into a skilled warrior himself and serves as Achilles' closest companion and confidant. When King Peleus dies, the throne passes to Achilles, and he becomes the leader of the Myrmidons, a fierce band of warriors. Achilles' reign is marked by peace and prosperity, but his heart yearns for glory on the battlefield. He decides to join the Trojan War, led by King Agamemnon, in order to reclaim Helen, the beautiful queen of Sparta, who has been kidnapped by Paris, a Trojan prince. Before leaving for Troy, Achilles promises Patroclus that he will return home safely. During the war, Achilles distinguishes himself as a fearsome warrior, but his arrogance and disdain for the advice of his commanders often lead to conflict. One such incident occurs when Agamemnon insults Achilles by taking Briseis, a captive woman, from him. Enraged, Achilles withdraws his troops from the battle and sits out the war in his tent, refusing to fight until he is avenged. In his absence, the Trojans begin to gain the upper hand, and the Greeks suffer terrible losses. Desperate, King Agamemnon sends Odysseus, the cunning strategist, and Phoenix, the priest of Apollo, to plead with Achilles to return to battle. They convince him that his honor and glory depend on avenging his insult and protecting his men. Reluctantly, Achilles agrees to return to the fight, knowing that it will ultimately lead to his death. As Achilles and Patroclus lead the Myrmidons into battle, they begin to turn the tide of war in favor of the Greeks. Their bravery and skill are legendary, and they manage to breach the walls of Troy. During one particularly brutal battle, Hector, the Trojan prince and hero, kills a close friend of Patroclus. In a fit of rage, Patroclus dons Achilles' armor and hides himself among the Myrmidons, hoping to lure Hector into a trap. His plan succeeds, and Hector mortally wounds Patroclus. Achilles, consumed with grief, vows revenge on Hector. He dons his armor and rides into battle, single-handedly slaughtering countless Trojans, including Hector's brother Deiphobus and father Priam. Finally, he corners Hector and engages him in a brutal duel. Despite Hector's best efforts, Achilles eventually kills him, fulfilling his promise to Patroclus. As Achilles lies with Patroclus's body, he realizes that his own death is imminent. He prays to the gods, begging them to allow him to live a long life with Patroclus by his side. The gods, however, are unmoved, and Zeus sends a river god, Scamander, to distract Achilles while Apollo protects Hector's body. During the confusion, Paris, aided by Apollo, manages to kill Achilles with an arrow through his heel, fulfilling the prophecy that had foretold his death. With Achilles' death, the Trojan War comes to an end. His body is burned on a funeral pyre, and his ashes are scattered across the Aegean Sea. Patroclus' body is also honored, and a tomb is built for them together, symbolizing their eternal bond. The Song of Achilles is not only a tale of love and loss, but also a testament to the enduring power of friendship and the human desire for immortality.